What I was going to say is that, I forgot to mention that I'm a three-time world champion hoop dancer. And yeah, I worked really hard to get to where I'm at. And they say it takes about 10,000 hours if you want to become good at something. And so I put in my 10,000 hours, I believe, into hoop dancing, over 30 years of hoop dancing, practicing, teaching, and sharing. And that's why I've been very generous with this knowledge, because hoop dancing, in fact, has changed my life. You know, culture changed the course of my life. And that's the power of culture and our culture, is it has the ability to heal, to keep us connected to the land, to our ancestors. There's a lot of good things about our culture that keeps us connected. And that's why I'm so happy to see our young ones up and coming, getting into the circle. And for the parents that help them, that nourish them, that bring them into the circle, super amazing. And keep it up, whatever you're doing. And it's just amazing to see this culture all across the country. I've traveled all across Canada, and our people are on the rise in a good way. Our people are uplifting themselves through culture, through education, through entrepreneurship, business. Some of my bros and sisters out there all across Turtle Island. It's just simply amazing. I myself consider myself to be an artist, entrepreneur. I've been doing this solid for 20 years straight. And now my son, Dallas Jr., some of you might know him, he's doing it now. He's second generation, and he's continuing on the tradition. And he didn't have to go through some of the struggles that I went through in the early years when I was just starting out. I remember when I just started hoop dancing, there was no such thing as Indigenous Day. There was no such thing as reconciliation at that time. And I remember there was a time where some of our people were even ashamed to be Indigenous, unfortunately. And I remember those times. And I remember my humble beginnings, and that's why I'm grateful to see today. Today, a lot of that has changed, with our people getting out there with what we share online and having these types of celebrations, the Siya Festival, having Indigenous festivals all across this country, and Pow-wows. The heartbeat of our people is continually getting stronger. So anyways, I just want to share a little bit about that and the background of myself and what this journey has brought me and taken me to. It's given me the courage to have a voice. Because I remember when I started hoop dancing, you wouldn't catch me on a microphone. I was super shy. I wouldn't say 2 words on the microphone. Now you just can't even get me off of the microphone. Somebody has to pull me off of here, because I'll be rapping all day here. Anyways, this style of hoop dance I'm going to share with you, this is the original style in which I was introduced when I went to the World Championships. I never seen anybody dance with 5 hoops before, so graceful, so beautiful, so skillful. One of my role models, one of the guys I look up to, only dances with 5 hoops. His name is Derek Suwama Davis. He comes from the Hopi tribe in Arizona, Second Mesa, Arizona. And he only dances with 5 hoops all the time, and he's an 8-time world champion hoop dancer. I think he's 9-time now. He's just so good at it that he just blows us all away and what he can do. Because they say it's not the amount of hoops you dance with, it's what you do with the hoops. So whether you're dancing with 5, 25, or 50, It's not the amount of hoops that you use, it's what you do with the hoops that represents for the hoop dance, you know, the indigenous style hoop dance. And a lot of it is related back to our culture. It always points back to our culture. Like how I have the hoops set up here in the 4 directions. Where I come from, that represents for the medicine wheel. And I know here in Syilx territory, in the Okanagan territory, I apologize if I don't say that right, but I'm Cree with a real heavy Cree accent, real res accent. But in the Syilx territory, from what I know, the 4 food chiefs, kind of the same thing what we believe as Indigenous people, you know, with the skimheast, the bear, the siya, the speetlum, and I can't remember how to say salmon, but the salmon. Those 4 food chiefs are just as significant to us, you know, so that's why it warms my heart. It reassures me when I come into this territory that, hey, you guys kind of think like us too. We believe in the medicine wheel back home with the 4 colors, with the 4 directions, with the 4 types of life, you know, with the 4 stages of life. That medicine wheel perpetually goes around and around. So when I hoop dance, that's what I put down on the ground. When I'm dancing to the hoops, that's what that represents. That represents for those 4 directions. It connects to those 4 food chiefs that you guys have here in the Okanagan, the Syilx territory. And to me, that's really powerful stuff. And that continually represents us as Indigenous people and our connection to each other, whether, you know, you're Shuswap, Okanagan, Cree, or Coast Salish, anywhere. You know, we all connect in many different ways. And, you know, traditionally, I believe that's how it's always been. And I think we should continually strengthen those connections. So anyways, without further ado, I'm gonna hoop dance for you guys, show you, this is what I call Southern style, the original style. The original one to bring this style was a guy by the name of Tony Whitecloud. He was out of Taos Pueblo. He was the originator of the modern day hoop dance. And today we have hoop dancers all across North America, from coast to coast, as far down as New Mexico, as far north as the NWTs, and so on and so forth. So anyways, without further ado, I'm going to demonstrate for you guys now the Southern style hoop dance with the original 5 hoops, the original 4 with that one there in the middle to balance them in the circle. So anyways, here we go.